Manchester City are held away to Southampton 1-1, ending a run of 12 consecutive Premier League wins. Jules, it had to happen at some point, right?
Yeah, it did almost happen at Arsenal on January the 1st.
Yeah,
It did. And this was, it felt, especially in the first half, of quite a similar game. I thought they started slow, They were not really into the game. I thought the pace of their game, the ball movement was a bit slow. If Sterling scores, that huge chance that he has, of course, it might be different. And Walker Peters scores a goal that he will never score again in his whole life. But this is what happens. And then they came back on set piece again, and Laporte. The game could have gone their way, of course. It could have. They could have had a penalty, I think, on De Bruyne. Armstrong should have been sent off every single day of the year. They'll take the point. They still were clear of Liverpool anyway. But I think they have to be careful in those first halves when they don't start well.
I give some props to Hasenhüttl here because he did something, he went way defensive, but then played the two strikers, chucked everybody on the counter, played with the usual intensity. By the way, Armando Broja, player and a half,
he's
that
a
guy.
player for sure.
Good news for Chelsea.
Yeah, Liverpool closed 2 points back because of that City draw as they win 3-1 away at Crystal Palace. But Gab, our boy Patrick Vieira is no friend with the referee Kevin.
I see what you did there.
Nice.
Yeah, okay, so...
come on.
Look, I don't want to pick on referees.
No, please do.
We said it
please
before.
do.
Right?
This weekend was terrible.
The talent pool is not deep. And I hate people say, referees as a whole. Okay, there are some very good referees in the Premier League.
Not many.
There are some who may grow into it, and there are some who are not good. Kevin Friend belongs in the not good category.
He's not good at all.
The Jota thing at the end, I don't know.
This is crazy.
Right, he's obviously far behind the play, but, you've got VAR. You see it. You see that it's not a penalty. It's very, very simple.
Yeah.
Very simple. Whether VAR refers you or not, you see it's not a penalty. Never. The Firmino one, slightly more complicated. I think this is more on the VAR. For those who didn't see it, Firmino is standing in an offside position when the cross comes in. Now, he doesn't touch the ball. He certainly looks like he's jumping for the ball.
Yeah.
The defender behind him, evidently not realizing he's offside or not being sure or whatever, and you don't blame him for him. I think it was Mitchell.
Yeah.
Takes a step forward. That leaves Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain wide open. So the question is, was Firmino interfering with play, even though he doesn't touch the ball? And I think the answer, very obviously, is yes. I'm guessing it's some kind of weird VAR interpretation of yours. So, you're standing offside. But is it up to me to interpret as the referee? Yeah, it's up to you and the referee. Show the referee, let the referee judge if he's interfering or not. Simple as. Yeah. Brentford lost at home to Wolves, but Jules, this game was delayed by 15 minutes or so because of a drone flying above the stadium. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, I mean, who's the weirdo that drive his drone, fly his drone above the stadium during a Premier League match? I mean, what are you trying to do here? I don't really understand. I can't get my head around why would you do that. And yeah, of course they had to stop it. Imagine the drone comes down and kills one of the players on the. I don't know. Anything could have happened, or someone in the stands, or anyone. It's just I find it crazy.
There's rules around it, but there you're right by the River Thames, and
Heathrow is not far.
And Heathrow's not far. Yeah, there's a lot of crew teams and stuff who are rowing along the river. Some of them, I think, use drones. I don't know why, but it's just such a weird thing to do.
It was so weird. So you had the clash of heads between the two Brentford players. Then the referee lost the battery on his VR. I'm just like, what a game. What a game.
Arsenal are held at home by Burnley 0-0. Jewel, this wasn't good, and fourth place looks further and further away. And Kieran Tierney has an ouchie.
Yeah, shall we move on? I mean, you know what the biggest thing from that game is? I think that Bukayo Saka starts to get really tired, and I don't understand why you keep playing him and playing him and playing him and playing him again. I think he needs a bit of a break, which is good because there's a break coming. Of course, I just thought this was so poor from Arsenal. Even if they could have won, I think the expected goals is 1.6 or 1.7. It's still not enough, I think.
Everton lose at home to Aston Villa, and there are ugly scenes as Luca Dean and Matty Cash are struck by objects thrown from the crowd. By the way, we didn't mention this before, but Antonio Rudiger also struck by objects from the crowd. Bill Kenwright, for those who don't know, he's one of those figures who's been at the club forever through different ownership groups. He's also roundly abused. And we have a new name in the Everton manager bingo, Vitor Pereira. Jules, he's been around the block.
Yeah, we've seen him a few times, especially with Porto.
It was a long time ago. He was at Olympiacos. He went to Fenerbahce.
He did a good job there, Fenerbahce.
He's been in Asia. He's been in China. He's been in the Gulf.
This is not the profile I would go for, but maybe they've got a different view on this. I don't think he's a builder, and I think right now this is what you need at this club, someone who would stay for long, and Vitor Pereira never stays long at clubs anyway, so I don't know why you think he could do that at your club. I'm very surprised if it's him. I was very surprised by the bottle thrown at Luca Ding, and maybe it was because he left Everton to go to Villa and obviously created the first goal by Buendia, and it happened just after that goal. This is, again, we've seen a lot of it in France, and we're starting to see more and more in England. You mentioned Rudiger. We saw Rodri at Arsenal, pelted with things too. Nothing hit him, but still. I just don't think it's a good thing at all.
You're surprised by these things. I'm assuming you're not surprised by the abuse directed at Bill Kenwright.
No, although, how much does he do in this club? Still, is he really involved? Is he making big calls?
I think the idea is whether, for me at least, right? So Bill Kenwright's always said, "Oh, look, I'm a theater guy. I don't have money, or I don't have a lot of money, but I hook up with rich people so that we can run the club," right? And he did it before with the previous owners. Now with Farhad Moshiri, there's still just so many questions around Everton's ownership. You know, people have questioned, BBC questioned whether is this Moshiri's money or is this
Usmanov,
or is this Alisher Usmanov, you know. And so my thinking is, if you love the club so much, right, if you're Bill Kenwright, and look, he's older now, he doesn't need to have abuse, right? Why not be more transparent about
go by yourself,
what's going on, right? Or say like, I'm just going to be a fan. I don't need this abuse.
Is it expensive to get rid of him? Because I was trying to think, why don't they do that? It would certainly appease a bit of the anger by some of the fans, clearly. So unless it's difficult to sack him, I don't understand why they don't let him go.
Right.
I really don't.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.